Well, moving on, journalism is one career that has carried a lot of hurdles and risks. Now, do you know what it actually takes for journalists to give you that story or provide that picture? We find out.
Mimi Mwai Kibaki.
Pictures that have unfolded and made history over the years. But have you ever wondered where these pictures came from? And who the brains behind the stories are? And just what are the state of minds of the people who risk their lives in order to fulfill a mandate to the public as members of the Fourth Estate? Journalists, the eyes and the mouthpiece of the public. Meet Lolani Kalu. During the 2007 post-election violence, he was sent to Mathare in Nairobi. In the days that ensued and as the story continued to unfold, questions that touched on his humanity came into play.
I do have nightmares, but starting thinking deep about our country, yes, that made me now start to think of ways about helping people.
With all that he had experienced, he needed something that would bring him back on track psychologically.
There's a need to prepare journalists that way, but as I say, it won't work as much, don't have an impact because things change all the time.
But the photojournalists also go through a lot to get that special picture. Back in 1984, these scenes and pictures moved the world to respond to action ending famine in the North African country. The man behind the exclusive footage, the world-renowned photojournalist, the late Mohammed Amin. His story touched the nation so much so that legendary musicians Lionel Richie and the late Michael Jackson wrote the song We Are the World to raise funds to deal with the famine situation in Ethiopia. But there is another side of the story. After his death, in his quest to save humanity, his son Salim Amin was left with questions of a father he never knew as he grew up.
My relationship with my father was an interesting one. I mean, it was not as simple as a lot of people make it out to be. It was a complicated relationship. I didn't really know him because he was never around for a lot of my life. So I only really got to know him after he died.
A father holds the destiny of his child. Salim describes the lengths he took to find out about the father he never knew.
Well, the documentary was done I did it because I thought it would be a really good film to make because his story was a wonderful story anyway. So I thought it'd be a really good film to make that would inspire another generation of African journalists. But it also turned out to be a very interesting journey for me in that I got to discover this person that truly I didn't know.
Salim, a father himself with 2 daughters, talks about the lessons he learned about balancing work and family, even as he fulfills his mandate as a successful journalist.
I have made a conscious effort to be more involved in their lives. So I make sure that I, spend maybe not quantity time with them, but quality time.
Some of the solutions for journalists and every person working in a career that involves a lot of pressure are shared by this doctor.
Relaxation, to live balanced life, to self-manage themselves, to time management, and relationships between them and others. And of course, if all of that will not help, they seek help and support from others.
Next time you meet a journalist on the street covering a story, take time to encourage them. But above all, share your story with them and solutions to issues that affect you and society.